think we can all agree that Fallout 3 is overall a hella mid game. The story is mid, the characters are mid, the combat is mid, I can go on. But you know what they say, even at Bethesda, a good story can be written. Let's talk about one of my favorite Fallout 3 quests. Pursuing anything but their dead, the Lone Wanderer can stumble upon a tall guarded building at the southwest edge of the capital wasteland. Approaching it, we can see a ghoul mercenary attempting to get into the closed-off yard. Unfortunately for him, the guard on the intercom doesn't seem to take kindly to ghouls. Frustrated, the ghoul takes off west. Speaking to the guard to our south, we can gain access to the tower. On the other side of the wall, we're greeted by Chief Gustavo. After some small talk, he warns us of a ghoul gang led by Roy Phillips. Apparently, they're trying to get access to the tower, but most residents, including Gustavo, don't like ghouls very much. He offers us a pay of 500 caps if we deal with the gang and marks their location on our map. Heading straight for the marker, we have to fight our way through the Warrington tunnels packed with feral ghouls. Finally reaching the gang's hideout, we can either start raising our kill counter for that bag of 500 caps, or talk our way in. If we do the latter, we can talk to Roy Phillips about the tower. He seems to despise its residents the same way they despise ghouls. His current plan is to unleash the ferals onto the tower to wipe out the security, but to do that, a locked basement door needs to be opened from the inside, so the ferals can travel through the metro. For now, let's keep this option in mind and propose to find a peaceful resolution. Roy doesn't believe we'll find one, but won't stop us from trying. Returning back to the tower, new dialogue options with most residents have appeared. We can ask each of them what they think about potentially sharing the space with ghouls, mostly resulting in negative reactions. If we want some real change to be made, we have to go up the elevator to Alistair's Tenpenny's suite. Of course, we won't be let in just like that, so we can either talk our way in or steal a key conveniently placed right beside the door. Talking to the dripped out Ankh himself, he surprisingly doesn't oppose our idea. As the owner of the property, he just wants the ghouls to pay for their stay, just like the other residents do. However, he would need us to get approval from 5 specific residents to make sure all the residents can be satisfied with the change. Now we have 3 options to progress the quest. First is obviously killing the gang, immediately finishing our quest by getting a reduction in karma and our promised 500 caps. Second is proceeding with Roy's plan and unleashing the ferals onto the tower. This can be done fairly easy by stealing the basement key from Chief Gustavo or Herbert Dashwood. We already know about the first, so let's talk about the second. Dashwood is a chill Ankh residing at his room in the tower. If asked, he can share a lot of stories from his past. Long story short, he's a retired adventurer that used to explore the capital wasteland before buying a place here to live out his remaining days in peace. Even though he quit adventuring long before the Lone Wanderer's arrival, his legacy remains in a Galaxy News radio play called The Adventures of Herbert Daring Dashwood and his ghoul-man servant Argyle, frequently told by Three Dog. Serving is one of the few plays created after the Great War. On top of that, he's one of the few residents not having hatred towards ghouls, as he spent most of his adventures with one. As we can find out through a related quest, he's also a part of the Railroad faction, which, if you know the story of Fallout 4, makes him a W guy. Overall, he seems like an honest man that's at the end of his career. We can of course be the asshole to steal his basement key. After acquiring it from Dashwood or Gustavo, we can head for the basement. In it, there is one powered door separating the ferals from the tower. We can either hack a terminal to open it, or a cooler option, just blow up a generator powering it. That's honestly a pretty cool mechanic, likes of which we don't see very often in this game. Unleashing the ferals obviously leads to everyone in Tenpenny Tower falling and Roy's gang moving in within a few days. Now that we explored the obviously 2 evil options, let's see the final one, which requires us to convince the residents to share the tower with ghouls. Each of the 5 can be convinced through a generic speech check to deal with the ghouls moving in or leave the tower. I'm that serious. Bethesda couldn't be bothered to write different sentences to deal with them. Unfortunately, that's just another thing going into Bethesda's misunderstanding of how dialogue should be written. One of the residents even acknowledges that he has never seen a real ghoul up close, but instead of conducting a proper debate and maybe having an option to change his mind, we just kick him out. We can deal with 3 out of 5 residents even quicker by finding out that Edgar Wellington II is cheating on his wife with Susan Lancaster. If we tell that to Millicent Wellington, she goes nuts, murders the 2, and just leaves the tower herself, leaving us only 2 people left to convince. After our impressive convincing work of kicking out everybody that doesn't agree with us, we can inform Roy that a peaceful resolution was indeed possible. He's very impressed and gives the Lone Wanderer a unique ghoul mask that turns all feral ghouls around the player and their companions non-hostile, unless provoked of course. Well, while the ghouls take their sweet time moving in and working out a contract with Mr. Tenpenny, we can go on our way to find other locations to explore. You know, I really wanted to see what that Dunwich building is all about. I heard there were some ghosts or some shit in there. Shit, didn't expect Bethesda to actually put ghosts into Fallout. It's a shame I couldn't figure out what that altar is all about, but at least the path is clear if I ever want to return there. Wonder how our peaceful alliance is going. I hope they got everything figured out. I would hate to go around each resident for signatures again. Weird. Awfully quiet for a Monday morning. Well, shit. Yep, the ghouls just straight up killed everyone in the tower, including Herbert Dashwood. Going up to Tenpenny's suite, we can find his corpse in the bathroom with Roy Phillips walking around. Confronting him can result in a fight to the death, but that doesn't change the fact that we indirectly killed both the Tenpenny and the ghoul settlements. The quest's ending is very sad whatever option we chose. Killing Roy initially just means extinguishing a potential ghoul settlement like the one in the underworld, even though most of the ghouls in the gang don't even know he plans and eventually does kill the residents. They just want a home to share with other humans. Killing Mr. Tenpenny and the other residents just means destroying a rising settlement along with the few people important to the Wasteland's history. Ironically, if we went with the third path, the only surviving humans from the Tenpenny Tower are the biggest bigots and the ghoul haters of the capital Wasteland, since we kicked them out into the other settlements before the Roy's gang came. The Lone Wanderer's best option was to not intervene. That way, both settlements would live on and the legends such as Dashwood wouldn't be caught in the crossfire. This might not be the best quest from a gameplay standpoint, as it encourages the player to not interact with the world as they might cause irreversible damage, but it's pretty damn realistic. Not every story has a perfect ending, and as the Sierra Madre told us, sometimes it's best to walk away.